welcome. Let's begin. We'll start in mountain pose. Just making your way up to the top of your mat. Taking a few moments here as we prepare for our practice. First, just taking root, making a connection to the ground, the earth beneath you. And with this connection, also connect with your breath. So perhaps a slow, deep breath, very expansive, and a complete exhale. Maybe one more time. Any tension that might be building up in your body, and that nice release, letting it go. Then just settle into slow, steady breaths as we ease into the practice. Feel free to just gaze forward or downward with soft eyes, or close your eyes. Check in with your body, even some light, gentle movements to get acquainted with how you're feeling at this moment, bringing to mind what you might need for your practice today. Our class is Expansive Heart Openers, focusing on back bends. So our heart openers, way of opening yourself up. As you inhale, just feel breath rising upward and already starting to feel that expansiveness in your heart space, filling up your lungs. And a slow and controlled exhale this time. And as you're able, drawing your navel inward towards your spine, that light contraction of your abdominal muscles, the abdominal lock. Get a nice full inhale, filling up your lungs and heart space, but also feel the lengthening in your spine. Feel a little taller, even lighter. Exhale, draw inward, connecting to your center body. Let's just do that a few more times. All the while, just feeling your breath, this pranic energy moving through you. Listen to the sound of your breath. Let's take 3 more breaths here as we prepare our bodies to move. And when you're ready, moving at your own pace, inhale, extend your arms overhead. Just a nice stretch. All the way up we go. Good. Exhale, swan dive forward. So a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Take your time. Maybe touching your toes, a complete fold or a partial fold, where your hands might be resting at your shins. Inhale and slide your hands up to your shins or knees and extend your spine, creating a long, flat back like a tabletop. And exhale, carefully melt your way back down to a forward fold. A full and complete release here at the end, or a partial fold. And wherever you are, just notice the sensations in your body. The natural curvature in your spine, the heaviness of the body, gravity drawing you downward through the crown of your head towards the earth. Even loosen your head here. Nod yes a few times, shake your head no. Even open your mouth wide like you're yawning. Just releasing any tension around the neck and jaw area. Add any other movements as it feels good. Maybe a circle of your shoulders, a sway of the upper body. Let's move to a halfway lift. You're going to inhale, slide your hands up to your shins, your knees, and extend your spine. Just pause here for a couple breaths. Again, just forming a tabletop with the body. Feet are firm on the ground, strong connection, softness in the knees. Feel the natural engagement of your hamstrings and your core as you hold in place. And now a weight shift into your heels. Bend your knees like you're sitting down. Lift your upper body. Take your arms out to the side and stand up nice and tall, reaching into the air with the breath in. And as you exhale, you can bring your hands together and down to your heart or arms down to your side. Just pause here, take a breath or two. That's our half salute to the sun. We'll just make that flow this time. Whenever you're ready, inhale, sweeping the arms out and up. Another nice stretch through the sides of your body. Exhale, swan dive forward, hinging at the hips, soft knees, all the way down or partially down. Inhale, slide your hands up to your shins or knees, extending through your back body, and fold again. As you're able, a complete release, head, neck, and shoulders. Weight shift into the heels, bend your knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive, coming all the way up, reaching a bit higher as you're able. Exhale, hands to heart or arms to your side. Another pause here. Just return to the connection with your breath. Good, let's continue. Inhale, taking the arms out and up. Let's exhale, take chair pose, Utkatasana, just sitting back. You don't have to sit down or back too deeply. We're going to bend the elbows here about 90 degrees and just draw the arms back just a little bit so you can maybe feel this across the back, a little opening of the chest. So beginning this heart opening practice here. Breathe in and exhale, we'll dive out of the chair to forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, our long tabletop position or monkey pose. Exhale, fold all the way down we go. Hands to the mat and just step both feet back to the back end of your mat until you're in plank pose, a high push-up position. Pause for a moment. We'll breathe in. Exhale, bend your knees like you're going to kneel, but then send your hips up into the air, moving into our inverted posture, downward facing dog. Take a moment as you need to adjust your feet. Adjust your hands on your mat. We'll pause here. You can just hold in position, breathing with the posture, or even move the body. Continue to assess how you feel. Notice what you need. Even if it's a rest, if you need to come down to your knees, to come off of your hands, please do so. As you prepare your bodies to move from here, breathe in, fill up your lungs as you're able. Exhale, connect to your core center, draw belly in and walk, step or hop. Both feet return to the top of the mat to your forward fold. Inhale, extend through the spine, feel the top of your head lead you forward. Even a little weight shift towards your toes. Exhale, back down. Now a weight shift into the heels. Bend your knees like you're sitting, coming all the way back up, nice and tall. Reaching high. Let's keep it moving. Exhale, return to chair pose. As you're taking your seat, again, we're just bending elbows to up 90 degrees. Draw the arms back. Open the heart. Inhale. Exhale, diving forward. Just find and feel that nice forward bend. Monkey pose, that's the extended spine. Then exhale, all the way down we go. Hands to the mat, hop or step back into plank pose. Another pause there. Just feel the strength in your body, the length in your body. As before, you can take that same shortcut to down dog if you'd like, or with your exhale, bend your elbows, squeeze them in towards your ribs, and lower your way down. Yes, finishing the push-up, coming down. Find a back bend. It might be a low cobra, or upward facing dog, or somewhere in between. Yes, listen to your body, then onto your toes, lifting hips into the air, downward facing dog. Make your adjustments with feet and hands. Arrive in the posture. I'd even suggest bending your knees a bit more, like you're going to kneel, but then send your hips farther up and away towards the back wall or ceiling. Meanwhile, press your hands a little bit more firmly into the mat. You're just creating a little bit more length through the body here. Let's continue with our lunge. Inhale, extend your right leg up behind you. Find the wall back there. Exhale, a step the right foot to the top of the mat. Preparing for warrior one. Once we've landed, turn left heel to the floor behind you, shifting weight back into that back foot. Hands are light, hinge from hips, rise up. Let's hold here, reaching high as if you're being lifted into the air. Nice lunge. Same thing, just a bend of elbows, about 90 degrees. Draw them back, open the heart. Inhale. And exhale, maybe shoot the arms up and then fold. Back down to the mat. Sliding the right foot back, plank pose. Finish the sequence as you'd like. Modify this as you need to. For chaturanga, you can bring knees to the floor first. Lower the heart. Maybe keep the back bend low if you'd like. and then downward facing dog. As you arrive in the posture, again, make the transitions with the feet and hands, adjusting them as needed. More softness in the knees, send your hips up a little higher, root firmly into the ground with your hands. Inhale, extend left leg up, reaching back, find the wall. Exhale to step through. Left foot to the top, take your time. Right heel turns to the floor so you feel grounded, then rise. Warrior one. Reaching high, lunging low. Yes, the bend of the elbows. Even just tip the chin up, heart up, breathe in, and exhale. Shoot the arms up, then fold. Hands return to the earth, sliding the left foot back, plank pose. And again, just finish the series as you'd like. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Hold for just a breath. And then come down to your knees. We're going to sit in hero pose just for a few seconds here because we're going to be coming back to this posture a little bit later in the practice. I just want to get you to feel this a little bit. Long shins, tops of the feet, get a little stretch in the knees. All right, let's go ahead and sit off to the side. Swing the legs around to the front. Make sure you're sitting in the center of your mat. Go ahead and roll down onto your back. Go ahead and draw your knees into chest. We'll take a moment to add some movement for a little back massage. Reconnect with your breath. So we'll move into our bridge pose here in a moment. We'll set the feet onto the floor. You can keep the feet hip distance apart or even take them a bit wider, whatever feels good for your body. Breathe in to fill up your lungs. Exhale, empty the belly and engage the belly. Press feet into the floor so you can lift your hips right up into the air. As you're able, let's get the arms and shoulders underneath you as well. You're going to feel the feet naturally press into the floor to help you lift, but see if you can do the same thing with the upper body, so the backs of your shoulders, even the backs of your arms, maybe with arms bent at 90 degrees, press down into the mat with the triceps and elbows, so you feel the heart open and lift. Just feel the engagement of the entire body in this position. Some deep breaths. Breathe high up into the lungs, right up to your collarbones. 3 more breaths. Coming out of the posture, you might wiggle the feet forward so we make space in the low back. Then extend your arms up into the air to release the shoulders out from underneath you, and then roll your way down. It's a nice soft landing. Let's extend the body, reach the arms behind you, extend your legs out front. Reach in these opposite directions. Nice stretch. Since we're doing back bends, we want to make sure we're also lengthening the spine and torso, but also doing counter poses, so forward folds. Let's draw the knees into chest. We're going to come up to seated, so you can rock your way up to seated or roll to your side and press yourself up to seated. So boat pose, really just leaning back, angled upper body, but nice, strong, straight torso. Heels can stay on the floor for this if you want at any time, because we will be coming back to this posture. We're lifting the feet. Yeah, certainly engage the feet. You can flex the feet or point your toes. You can hold on. You can free up the hands. Inhaling to feel the breath rise to fill up your lungs. Exhaling through the mouth, engaging your core. All right, let's move from here. Breathe in like you're floating up off the ground. Exhale, we'll cross legs, hands in front, or even to the side here so you can get the feet back behind you. Return to plank pose. Another strong straight line. Okay, we're going to come all the way down to our bellies. If this is a sensitive position, just return to actually, you can do a low cobra or even return to a bridge pose. So for this back bend, we're going to keep the hands underneath the shoulders for a moment. Long legs, point your toes as if you're reaching for the back wall.
Grip your mat with your fingertips and feel like you're trying to pull yourself forward. So you're moving in opposite directions, trying to pull yourself forward while your feet are trying to reach the back wall. Now, if your shoulders are dipped towards the ground, roll your shoulders away from the ground. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, engaging the upper back. Now we'll inhale, continue that lengthening in the body in the opposite directions. Exhale, imagine you're trying to pull your belly button up off the ground. You might even feel your glutes engage. And just lift your chest a little bit. So we've got the upper back engaged because the shoulders are rolled back. Low back's engaged because we're lifting. Now you can stay just like this for a little extra dynamics. You can lift the legs or feet off the floor. You can even lift your hands off the floor. If that brings pressure to the low back, come back down to the ground. You can even reach back with your hands like this. You can keep your neck neutral. So you might, if your head is tipped up and looking forward, just drop your chin down. Very dynamic. Breathe in and exhale as we return to the earth. You're going to push back to hands and knees here. Let's just do a series of cat and cow. Inhale, lift head and heart. We'll arching of the back, and of course that is a back bend. Exhale, round it out. You can even hold this position because this might feel really good after that back bend. And just flow a few more times through cat and cow, just feeling the undulation of the spine, getting some good mobility through the muscles. Even the bones get some movement here too. You can even add extra movements if you want to circle the hips, or just sit back, or even come forward. You can just add on as you'd like. Good. Take one more breath in and out. We'll pause here in this neutral tabletop position. We're going to return to downward facing dog. You might even step your hands forward a little bit, just a little. Tuck your toes under. And with an exhale, lift your knees off the ground. Send your hips into the air. Same thing as before. Keep the knees really bent. Send your hips up a little higher. Press hands into the floor. Feel longer. Even wag your tail a little bit. Just help some release in the low back area. Let's continue with the lunge sequence. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you. Hold on the exhale. Continue to feel longer. Yes, we're going to open the hip here, so bend your knee. Your heel will come down towards your backside. Just a little lift of the knee. Doesn't have to be high. Just so you feel like you're kind of turning open towards the right side of the room. You've got it. Breathe in right where you are. Then exhale to unwind that twist. Step through. Right foot to the top of the mat, going for the lunge. Warrior one. Left heel to the floor behind you. Rising up. And this exhale, we're just going to open this to a warrior two. Opening up to the left side of the room. Adjust your feet, mainly for balance and stability here. Then our side angle pose. Reaching forward, angled upper body. There it is. Rotate the arms. Yeah, stay up high if you'd like. Yeah, you can even bend the right arm and rest it lightly on the thigh. Or the right arm is straight, reaching towards the floor, or you might be low enough to touch the floor. With the left hand and arm, reach over your head like you're reaching towards the front of the room so you can get some more length through the left side of the body. These all are assisting our bodies to prepare for more back bends. Just get a side stretch. Let's breathe in, and our exhale to carefully turn and fold, hands back down to the mat. Plank pose. We're going to do that same locust pose where we came all the way down to the belly. Knees down, and then heart comes down. Hands on the mat. Underneath the shoulders, long legs, point your toes to keep it active. Reach for the back wall. Grip the mat with your fingers. Pull forward. Feel like you're reaching or moving in two directions. Let's roll the shoulders back, squeezing shoulder blades together. Inhale, let's pull and lengthen the body. Exhale, draw belly up. Lift chest up slightly. Just enough we have sensation in the back body, and that's your pose. You can stay just like this or lift the legs and feet. Maybe lift the hands. Again, if that's adding pressure to the low back, return to the earth. Maybe even reaching back with the hands, yeah? If you're able to lift a little higher, do so. Just be mindful of how this feels for you. Breathe in, and the exhales return to the earth. And the push back to hands and knees. This time, take the knees a little wider, and then sit back to child's pose. Now let's make this an active child's pose, meaning as the hips draw back and down towards the heels, take the arms out front or hands out front, like you're trying to reach beyond the edge of your mat. Lengthen here. So you have a bit of a lengthening quality, but your back might also be slightly rounded, and that's all perfect. Three more deep breaths. After that third breath, take your time, come back up to hands and knees. If the knees went wide, just bring them back underneath you, underneath the hips. And returning to downward facing dog. Step the hands forward, tuck your toes, lift the knees and hips. Knees very bent, hips nice and high. Press firmly into the ground with the hands. Wag your tail. Then inhale, extend left leg up and away. Hold on the exhale, feel the body get longer. And then open the hip, a little bend of the knee. Here's our lift. There's the twist, little hip opener, perfect. Breathe in, and your exhale to unwind the body, stepping through left foot to the top of the mat, right heel to the floor. Be sure you put pressure in that back foot. Hands are light, then float up. There it is, Warrior 1. Exhale, opening to your Warrior 2. Adjust your foundation, your feet on the mat. There we are, nice and tall, outstretched arms, energy moving through the fingertips. Then follow the left hand forward. Angled upper body, then we rotate the arms, reaching high, reaching low. You can stay up high or go down low. Let's follow the right hand overhead, reaching towards the front of the room. Even if the elbow needs to bend, that's fine. Just feel the lengthening through the side of the body. Find your breath. There we are. Breathe in. And the exhale to carefully turn and fold. Bring your hands back down to the floor. Step back into plank pose. Now you're going to come all the way down to the belly. This time we're going to move into upward facing dog, but we're going to break it down. So we're on the floor here still. Long legs, point your toes. Now your hands, if your hands are underneath your shoulders, step them back a little bit. But not too far. You still want to keep the palms flat on the ground. Palms flat. You're just forming more of a right angle with the arms and elbows. Squeeze the elbows in towards your ribs. Roll the shoulders away from the floor. Squeeze shoulder blades together. Okay, this is our prep. We're going to inhale. As you exhale, press hands into the floor to lift your upper body until your arms are mostly straight. Now you can be at an angle like this, or just tip the heart and face forward. Now you're still pressing down because you want to make sure the hips are off the floor, but also feel like you're trying to pull yourself forward. I'm just gripping the mat with my hands and pulling. My knees have lifted up off the ground. My feet are just kind of stuck on the mat, but I feel like I'm going forward to help decompress the low back. That's our upward facing dog. Breathe in the exhale. Maybe set the knees down, tuck toes, hips into the air, downward facing dog. Do what you need to do to find the most length possible here. There. Good. Nice full breath in. Exhale, walk, step, or hop. Both feet return to the top of the mat to your forward fold. Inhale, lengthening halfway up. Exhale, fold, and we're going to hold here so we can just feel that nice counter position after those back bends. Even hold on to the backs of your legs if that works for you. Gently drawing yourself downward a little deeper. Then ready to stand. Shifting weight into the heels. Bend your knees, long torso. Spread your wings. All the way up we go. Inhale, there it is. And this exhale, bring your arms down to your side. Perfect. Good. Check in with your body. Move around. Okay, since we have those up dogs, planks, and down dogs, check in with your wrists. So maybe you circle your wrists, wiggle your fingers. Okay, even counter stretch the wrists because we're force flexing them a lot. So counter stretch there. Check in with your elbows, shoulders, neck. There we are. Okay. Just adding on to our back bend sequence. Whenever you're ready, inhale, reaching into the sky, strong straight line. Exhale, chair pose. Same thing, bend elbows. Just take the seat. Once you're in the seat, just draw the arms back, open the heart. Inhale. Exhale, dive forward. There's our forward fold. Inhale, monkey pose, re-extending the spine. Exhale, all the way down we go. Hands to the floor, hop or step back, plank pose. Come down if you'd like, Chaturanga Dandasana. Just a regular flow here. You can even skip this and go right into down dog. You can modify that back bend and then right into downward facing dog. Adjust the body, find yourself in this moment. Inhale, extend right leg out behind you, bend and twist open a bit. We'll unwind that and step through. Right foot to the top of the mat. Warrior one, set up. Left heel to the floor. There it is. Float your way up. Take your time. Exhale, opening to warrior two. Just flowing with breath, but go at your own pace. Side angle, reaching out. Rotate the arms. Follow left arm overhead. Feel the left side of the body and get a good length here. Breathe in. Yes. Exhale, turn, fold, hands to the floor. We're taking it to down dog. So sweep the right foot back and up into the air. So it's downward facing dog with the right leg again extended into the sky. Bend and twist open. We're in the pigeon pose here. So as we unwind, we're bringing the right knee to the floor, behind the wrist. Angle the leg, set the left knee onto the floor, use your left knee and toes to shift the body back, finding center, but also deepens the sensation. Modify this if you need to and come onto your back. We'll still slightly lifted if you're not down already. Inhale, just extend through the torso. Exhale, imagine you're trying to crawl forward. You might just come down to your elbows, lowering your heart a little bit. And then just settle in. Make some adjustments, modify, or even change the posture, or even completely come out of the posture if you need to. We're going to call this pigeon pose prep. It really prepares us for other versions of pigeon pose, and we are going to attempt another version of pigeon. Here, this just gets us into our hips. So notice what's happening in the legs. You can certainly just hold this posture and just breathe with the sensations, or add some very gentle, kind movements. Three more breaths. And slowly just come back up onto your hands. Your hands will probably be in front here with an angled upper body. We're going to take this to the second version of our pigeon pose. You're going to reposition the hands, bring them by your side, maybe propped up onto your fingertips so your arms will essentially become longer. You can just watch me first. I'm just pressing into the floor with the fingers so I can lift myself up. Straight arms, just like up dog. I'm lifting, but also feeling like I'm going forward. You can always angle this. If this is too high, too much of a compression in the low back, come forward. This is fine here too. Okay. King pigeon. Breathe in. And with the exhale, you can soften, sit off to your right side, way off to the right, because we're going to bring the left leg around to the front. Let's come to cobbler's pose or bound angle. So adjust your seat, feet come together. Just hold on to your shins and ankles, or ankles for a moment. Just get nice and tall. We'll take this to a forward fold, just to complement that back bend. So we'll inhale, lift, exhale, fold. You can lower the head, round your spine, and indulge in the nice back stretch. Just 2 more breaths here. And then just going to roll your way back up if your back is rounded, or extend the spine and hinge your way back up, but just find a nice lengthened torso here.
Let's add something. Let's bring the hands behind us. So you can just kind of lean back into the hands. Not too far, actually. Actually, we're going to keep them kind of close. And just push into the floor like you're lifting yourself up. Roll the shoulders back, a little squeeze of the shoulder blades. Nice opening of the heart. Okay, tip the chin up just to give the heart a little bit more space. And just inhale. Fill up the lungs. Exhale, draw belly in. Just a mild seated back bend. Again, inhale. And release. All right, softening. Let's go back to boat pose. So you might lean back. Let's get the feet out front. Again, you can always do this with heels on the floor. So here's a nice variation. Or lean back more to lift the feet. Hold on or free up the hands. Lengthen torso. Breath is rising. Fill up your lungs. Like you're a balloon just going to float away. Exhaling, engaging, strong, locking sensation. Okay, let's move here. Breathe in. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front. Hop or step back into plank pose. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left side. Inhale, extend left leg into the air. Bend and twist. Exhale, open or unwind, stepping through left foot to the top of the mat. Here we go, warrior one. Just back to our basic flow. Rising here, exhale, opening to warrior two. Nice wide stance, side angle, reach out. Rotate the arms, follow your right hand up and overhead. Feel the right side body stretch, lengthening, opening, yes? Here we go, breathe in. Our exhale, turn, bring your hands to the floor, going back to down dog. So sweep that left foot back and up into the air. Feel the straight line you're creating. Bend and twist open. And here comes pigeon pose. Prep. Unwinding. Left knee to the floor behind left wrist. If you need to do a different variation of the posture, please do so. Right knee and toes, just crawl back. Help you center. Inhale, lengthening through the torso. Exhale, like you're crawling forward to come downward. Adjusting, modifying, whatever you need to do to help you settle into the pose. This is a posture where we really rely on breath or pay closer attention to the breath. And just feel how the breath continues to move through your body, especially to the parts that feel a little bit more sensational. Hold in stillness or add some gentle movements. Three more breaths here. To transition to our king pigeon pose, so maybe using your hands to help lift yourself up. Remember, perfectly fine to keep this angle to protect your back. Or maybe bring hands to the side, propped up on fingertips, and inhale just to lift or straighten the arms again. The angled upper body's fine. Or keep lifting. Open up the heart, look forward. Deep breaths. Feeling this in the hips for sure. That right hip flexor, strengthening the low back. Breathe in. And the exhale to soften. We'll sit off to the left side. Bring the right leg all the way around, back to our cobbler's pose or bound angle. We'll do the same thing. Sit up nice and tall to extend the spine. Exhale, hinge and fold forward.
3 more breaths. If the back is rounded, you can just roll your way back up or extend the spine first, then hinge your way back up from the hips. And again, just nice and tall up top. We're going to extend the legs here. If you need more room, just scoot back a little bit. Moving into, actually just do a seated forward fold with legs straight now. Hands on the floor by your hips. Just push down to help extend the spine. Flex feet, strong legs. This is a staff pose. Take seated forward fold. So an inhale, taking arms up. Exhale, hinge forward a little bit. And then bring the hands down to the floor, your legs, your feet. Another in-breath. And exhale, another fold. Perfectly fine to bend the knees. You can bend or round your back again. These 2 things might allow you to reach your toes if you're able. And in this posture, wherever you are in your forward fold, there's an emphasis on your back, of course. Your back is considered the west side of your body. Paschimottanasana is the name of this pose in Sanskrit, just simply a seated forward fold. Again, emphasizing your back body, the west side of your body, breathing in deeply, expanding the lungs from the back side. So if the back is considered the west, your front is considered your east. So let's do an eastern pose. So release the legs, free up your hands, reach forward. Inhale, hinge and rise up. Reach up. Exhale, arms back down by your side. Let's prep for our eastern side. So place the hands behind you with the fingertips still pointing toward yourself. Just bend the elbows and just kind of lean back like you're in a lounge chair. And then just point your toes, long legs, pointed toes. So east side, Purvottanasana is the name of this posture. It's just reversed plank pose. So this is our setup. So roll the shoulders back, squeeze shoulder blades together. You feel like your heart is lifting up or forward, just like that. Okay, we're going to inhale, fill up the lungs. As you exhale, draw belly in, press hands into the floor, straightening the arms, lifting hips. And there is our reverse plank pose. We won't hold this long. It's a dynamic posture. Breathe in. If you can, lift hips a bit higher. Exhale, take your seat. Okay. Then maybe just drag the heels towards yourself. Return to a boat pose. Free up the hands. Again, this could be your pose. Any variation here. Breathing in and exhale. Cross legs. Hands in front. And just come to hands and knees here. Okay, earlier, I had you sit back into hero pose. I'm going to have you do that same thing. Just sit back into hero. Right here. I'm getting a Charlie horse, so I'm going to stretch my toes. Yeah. It always happens. Okay. But in this posture, there's actually another pose, or a pose called, we've been doing pigeon pose. There's also a pigeon posture, and it's different. We're not going to do the whole posture unless you're able to and know how to, but this is the setup. So you're going to bring your hands behind you with your fingers either at the ends of your toes or on your toes, like in the pads of your toes here. The heel of your hand is on the ground, okay? Or your whole hand is on the ground if you can reach. And this is basically the end. You can just stay just like this and just breathe. This could be your back bend, but pigeon posture is if you came down to your elbows behind you and then brought your head to the floor behind you. Okay? It's so easy. It's yes, just like that. Okay? Now you have to be careful because there's no graceful way of really getting out of that pose. All right, we're coming back up, so take your time carefully, coming back up. Place your hands on your thighs. We're going to lift up onto our knees. If you were flat on your feet, go ahead and tuck your toes. Even sit back just to stretch your toes if you need to. Going to camel. We want to get the hips lifting, pushing forward so you have a nice alignment of hips over your knees. We're just going to do a variation of camel, protecting the back.
supporting the back with your hands. I usually use my fists right across the belt line. Doing two actions. I'm pushing down, okay, to create space in the low back, but I'm also lifting up through the torso. Pushing down with the hands, lifting up through the torso. Lots of space in the belt line. And I'm doing that with an inhale. As I exhale, I'm also pushing forward with the hands, keeping the hips over the knees. I'm just tipping the eyes up, chin up, heart up, okay? So that's our posture. So we're inhaling, pushing down with the fist, lifting the chest or lifting the torso. Exhale, push forward, keeping hips over knees, leaning back just a tiny bit, but really just feel like you're just rising upward. So just a variation of camel pose, Ustrasana, Ustrasana. We're rising back up, sit back and down, hands to the floor, return to child's pose. So again, you're welcome to take the knees wide and sit back. And you can make this active if you want, or just soften the body and just hold here. Active is just keeping the hips like they're reaching for your back toes, your arms out front, lengthening, reaching past the edge of your mat. You can even add a side bend if you want. If you happen to be here, maybe hands over to one edge or corner of your mat as it stretches the opposite side. A few breaths to lengthen, open up through the rib cage, and of course do both sides if you happen to be doing this stretch. Three more breaths. Taking your time, just going to make your way back to hands and knees. Set ourselves up for downward facing dog. So we'll meet together in down dog. Still okay to bend the knees a lot, send your hips up, hands root into the floor. Continue this lengthening process. Nice full breath in. Exhale, walk, step, or jump both feet to the top of the mat to forward fold. Extend through the spine, monkey. Exhale, fold. Let's just hold here for several breaths. Again, as you're able, catch the backs of the legs to draw yourself downward and deeper as you're able without forcing it. Your weight shift into your heels, bend your knees, lift your torso, spread your wings, and float all the way up. Inhale, reach high, even a little extra reach up top. Exhale, arms down to your side, yes. Again, check in with everything. Wrists, elbows, shoulders, and neck. Hips, knees, and ankles, and feet. All right, let's put a sequence together. Just kind of building all of those back bends together. Starting, of course, in mountain pose. Just take a breath in stillness. And then we'll flow. Inhale, reaching up high. Exhale, take chair pose. Same thing, bend elbows. Open the heart. Inhale as you open the heart. Little back bend feel there. Exhale, diving out. Forward fold. Inhale, monkey pose, long spine. Exhale, fold and bend. Hands to the floor, hopper, step back into plank pose. Come down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, extend your right leg up and away. Let's bend and twist open. Unwind to step through, warrior one. So our basic flow set up, left heel to the floor, balanced, light hands, hinge your way up. Go ahead and bend elbows. Little opening of the heart here. Inhale. Exhale, shoot the arms up and open to your warrior two. Yeah. Side angle, reach out. Rotate the arms, follow left arm overhead, lengthening through the side of the body. We're still moving. Breathe in. Exhale, turn and fold, hands to the floor. Back to down dog. We're sweeping the right foot back and up into the air. Bend and twist. We're going to pigeon, king pigeon. So unwind, set the right knee onto the floor, angled leg. Left knee on the floor. So the weight's in the hands. We need to get the weight away from the hands. So we shift the weight back, finding our center. Reposition hands for king pigeon.
Be by your side, propped up on fingertips. Inhale, press and lift, heart opener. We're going to exhale and soften. Sit off to the right side. Left leg comes around. Cobbler's pose, quick forward fold. Inhale, exhale, round. We're not going to be here too long, maybe just a couple breaths just to nurture the back. Hinge your way back up or roll back up. Long torso, hands behind you. We're going to Purvottanasana. It's the reverse plank. Extend the legs. Hands behind you, fingertips pointing towards self, elbows bend. It's the lounge chair. Roll the shoulders back, squeeze shoulder blades. It's almost like you're in a little seated back bend right here. Inhale, fill up the heart space. You can exhale and stay here or press hands into the floor, lifting, straightening the arms, lifting hips. Inhale again. Exhale, sit. Drag your heels towards yourself, boat. Just for a transition. Inhale, float up. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front. Just step back until you're on hands and knees. One cat-cow. Inhale, here's the back bend. Exhale, round, hold cat. As you're holding cat, sit back into hero. Hands come behind you, going to pigeon posture or just a variation. Okay, here is fine. We might just tip the head back, shoulders back, heart opens, or come down to elbows if that feels okay. We're rising back up, maybe hands on thighs, just help support and lift up onto the knees. Support your back with your hands, flat feet or tuck toes. Make space in the low back, push down, lift up, inhale. Exhale, push forward, lean back gently. Just feel the heart lift. Inhale here. We're going to exhale to soften. Making your way back to a child's pose. So hands out front, knees wide if you like. We're not going to be here long. Maybe making an active child's pose. Sit back, reach forward, extend, lengthen. One more breath, that's all. Return to hands and knees. Bring the knees back in underneath hips if they went wide. Downward facing dog. Tuck toes, lift the knees and hips. There's our down dog. Long spine. Other side. Inhale, extend left leg into the air, bend and twist. Back to our basic flow. Unwind, step through. Left foot to the top of the mat. Here's warrior one. Right heel to the floor, float your way up, yes. Exhale, opening warrior two. Right away, side angle, rotate the arms, right hand up and over, reach. Inhale, nice extension. And our exhale, turn and fold, hands to the floor. Back to down dog. Sweep your left foot back and up, bend and twist. King pigeon setup, unwinding left knee to the floor behind the wrist. Angled leg, right knee comes to the floor, crawl back, finding your center. Stay here if this feels best, or reposition the hands. Find the back bend, king pigeon pose. Breathing in. Exhale, soften, sit off to your left side. Right leg comes around for cobbler's pose. Same thing, we'll get nice and tall here. Take a quick forward bend. Breathe into your back body. Roll back up or hinge back up. Purvottanasana, hands behind you, extend the legs. Reverse plank. Elbows bend, lean back, shoulders back. Okay, and create a little back bend here. Here we go, breathe in. Exhale, press into the floor. Straighten the arms, lift your hips even just a little bit. There we go, breathe in. And exhale, take a seat. Drag your heels towards yourself, boat. Lift. Inhale, more lift. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front. Just to hands and knees here. One cat-cow. Starts with cow, however. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Sit back into hero. Just walk your hands back. And then behind you for pigeon posture variation. Opening up through the heart here.
Or come down to the elbows. Carefully coming back up, hands on thighs, lift up, camel pose, Ustrasana, support the back. Inhale, get tall and lifted. Exhale, just barely even tipping back. Support the back with the hands. Feel like your heart is lifting upward. We're breathing in. And the exhale, we're softening, folding, returning to your child's pose. Hands out front, knees wide if you like. Here, we'll stay a little longer so you can maybe make it active at first, and then soften it. And feel free to add those side stretches again or for the first time if you didn't do it that last time. Just reaching towards either corner or side edge of your mat so you can get some length through the sides of the body. You can even soften the posture more by just resting your forehead on the ground and bring your arms behind you just down along your legs, letting the shoulders relax, your back can relax there too. Take as much time as you need here. There's certainly no rush to move. Your next posture will be on your back, so whenever you are ready to move, you might just rise up, maybe sit to one side, getting the legs out front, sitting in the center of your mat, and roll down onto your back. Again, take your time to arrive here, and you can decide what you would like to do next. I'll just provide some options of what you can do. Maybe first it's just a massage by gently moving the legs and hips. You can get into your feet by circling the ankles since you did some footwork with some of these postures. Perhaps choose a hip opener if you like. That could be happy baby pose or reclining cobbler's pose or any other hip opener. Again, I'm just going to continue to throw out some options. Choose them as you'd like. You might even extend the legs in the air. So legs just extending as if there's a pose called legs against the wall. This is just mimicking that. You can even take shoulder stand where your legs and hips are in the air for another leg extension or an inverted posture. Even do another back bend if you want. Another bridge pose or fish pose. Might even add a twist, just hugging the knees in towards the body, and a twist to both sides of the room. So again, those are just some options. Add them to your practice as you'd like. All the while, whether you're moving or just holding in a nice pose, remember your breath. Whenever you feel complete with all of your movements, find a comfortable position for your meditative practice. That could be Shavasana, just lying on your back, arms down by your side. You can even lie on your side. Or even come to a seated position, whatever feels good. A relaxing posture where you can mostly disengage, soften the breath. Stay right where you are. No need to move just yet. Just return to the awareness of your breath, just in case your mind began to wander a bit. Just take a deep breath, releasing the thought. Come back to this moment. Once again, return to the awareness of your breath. This time taking 5 slow, deep breaths. Each inhale, do your best to fill your heart. Exhale completely. Acknowledging this heart-opening practice. A time for giving from your heart. A time to receive into your heart. As you're feeling this pranic energy move through your body, also find movement within your body. Maybe you wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Start moving your feet and hands. As you generate mobility, take your time, no rush. Carefully roll onto either side of your body. Brief pause in this nurturing pose. Just a reminder that it's good to take care of yourself. And then from here, still moving in slow motion, guiding your way up to seated. Once you're here with legs crossed perhaps, just one last movement together. We'll inhale, extend the arms all the way up. And exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. And then take one more deep breath into your heart center. And as we come to the close of this portion of our journey together, we bow saying, Namaste. Namaste.
Thank you so much for watching and participating in this yoga lesson. To help us with the channel so we can continue to bring you more content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. It's really appreciated. Namaste.